You know what's strange? We talk endlessly about anxiety. We dissect depression like it's a fascinating new species. We have podcasts and TED Talks and entire industries built around naming what's wrong with us. But there's this other feeling, quieter, heavier, harder to describe, that millions of people are walking around with. It's the feeling you get when life is fine, really. The job is okay, the relationships are okay, nothing is wrong, and yet something feels off. Like you're standing slightly outside your own life, watching it happen. You probably blame yourself for not appreciating what you have. I think most people are diagnosing themselves with the wrong thing, and the actual thing has a beautiful, terrible explanation buried in neuroscience. Picture this. You're 32 years old. You're at your desk on a Tuesday afternoon. Sun is hitting the window the same way it used to hit your bedroom window when you were 9. And for about half a second, you feel something. Not happiness exactly. Just a flicker, and then it's gone. If you ask 1,000 adults to describe their childhood, about 70% say it was happier than they remember it actually being. Not perfect family, not wonderful childhood, just happier than the version that lives in their head now. The memories are still there. The birthday parties, the summer afternoons. They can list them. They just can't feel them anymore. Here's what's actually happening. When you were a kid, your prefrontal cortex wasn't fully developed yet. That's the part of the brain that analyzes, plans, judges. It doesn't finish wiring until you're about 25, which means as a child, you experienced emotion without a filter. There was just the thing. Joy hit your whole body. A summer afternoon wasn't an event to optimize. It was a state of being. Your adult brain physically cannot do this anymore. Every emotion you have now passes through analysis. By the time you're consciously aware of joy, your brain has already shrunk it to fit in a category. The kid you used to be and the adult you are, they're running on completely different operating systems. Same body, same name, different brains, different worlds. And there's something else nobody talks about. Most of what you call happy as an adult isn't actually happiness. Hungry, you eat. Lonely, you text someone. Bored, you open the phone. We call this pleasure. It's not. It's just, I stopped being uncomfortable for 15 seconds. Every modern pleasure has become a scratch for an itch. The relief feels like joy, but it's not joy. It's just absence of discomfort. As a kid, you didn't need the itch. You just had the room. Sunlight was enough. A rock was enough. That's what you actually miss. Not the birthday parties, not the summers. You miss the brain that didn't need to scratch any itches. There's a neuroscientist named Karim Nader who proved something quietly devastating. Every time you remember a memory, your brain rewrites it, slightly different each time. Adjust based on who you are right now. So that happy memory from when you were 8, you've remembered it maybe 1,000 times by now. Each time, your adult brain rewrote it through its own filter. What you have left is the 1,000th copy of a copy of a copy. Each generation a little dimmer than the last. And here's the part most people miss. The kid wasn't just forgotten. The kid was slowly edited out of your own brain, by you. So here's what I think this actually is. That quiet weight you've been carrying? When life is fine, but something feels off. When you've done everything right, but you can't find the feeling anymore. That's not depression. That's grief. Grief for a person who doesn't exist anymore. A version of you who could feel summer the way summer was supposed to feel. A version of you who didn't yet know what was coming. That person didn't die in any tragic way. They just slowly became you, and you absorbed them. And nobody throws a funeral for that. You're just supposed to keep going, build a career, pay rent, show up to work on Monday, carrying around a small ghost that nobody else can see. I think the feeling people most often misdiagnose as depression is just the ghost asking to be acknowledged. Once you see this as grief instead of depression, you can actually do something about it. But not in the way you think. Every self-help book on earth will tell you to journal more, exercise more, talk to friends more. That's fine general advice. It's not what this specific feeling needs. This isn't a problem to fix. It's a person to mourn. And mourning has rules of its own. You can't optimize it. You can't life hack it. You can't journal your way through it. You can only acknowledge it. Here are 4 ways to do that. Each one is small. Each one feels strange at first. Each one works. Of all your five senses, only one can actually take you back. Not photos, not music, not videos, smell. A researcher at Brown University named Rachel Hertz has been studying this for years. Vision goes through your prefrontal cortex first. Your adult filter analyzes the image before you feel anything. Same with hearing, same with reading. Smell is the only sense that bypasses your thinking brain entirely. Goes straight to the emotional center. Same nerve pathway from age 6 to age 60, which means somewhere out there, there's a specific smell that can put you back inside your 8-year-old body. Not metaphorically, neurologically. Your grandmother's hand cream, the shampoo from summer camp, the brand of bread your mom used to buy. Yes, this means you might end up sniffing a bar of soap in a CVS for 10 minutes. Do it anyway. You won't get the memory back, but for a few seconds, you might feel what it was like to be the person who lived inside it. Write a letter to your 8-year-old self. I know, every therapist on earth tells you to do this, but they tell you to give advice to the kid. Hey, here's what's coming, be careful, don't trust that one friend. That's the wrong direction. The letter you actually need to write is one asking permission from the kid. Permission to be the person you turned into. Permission to have given up the things they wanted you to keep. Don't justify, don't explain, just ask, are we okay? People who do this often describe a feeling of release within minutes. Not because the kid literally responded, because some part of your brain has been waiting decades for that question. This next one is the hardest and the most powerful. Pick one specific moment from childhood you remember in detail. Not summer of 2002, that's too broad. I mean that one Saturday afternoon, the wallpaper of the room you were in, the shirt you were wearing, the song that was playing. Now, recreate it. Wear something similar, play the same song. Find the same food, the same drink, the same kind of light in the room. Do it alone. Sit there for 30 minutes. Yes, this sounds insane. Yes, your roommate is going to ask questions. Do it anyway, because this isn't nostalgia. This isn't trying to relive anything. This is a ritual, a small, private funeral for a self that didn't get a proper one. The last one is the simplest and the most counterintuitive. Block off 3 hours, a Saturday afternoon. No phone, no tasks, no plan. Just sit. Get bored. As a kid, you lived in slow time. A school day lasted forever. Modern adult brain doesn't get that anymore. For the first time in years, you might catch a glimpse of what it felt like to be a person before the algorithm. That weight you've been calling depression, sometimes it isn't. Sometimes it's grief without a name, for a way of feeling that left without saying goodbye. Tell me in the comments, what memory do you wish you could feel again? Not what happened, the feeling. I think we all need to hear that we're not alone in this.